Hello, my name is Lovelee from Lovelee Destinations. I'm going to be giving my client horror stories today. I eat my crawfish and broccoli. I'm a pescatarian, so you're not going to see me eat meat on this channel. And I also have my cocktail. I'll show you how to make it. So my first story comes from, which story I want to tell first? Okay, let me tell you a most recent story. Some young lady, she hits me up. She says, I love your prices and I love what you do or whatever. She said, I want to book a trip with you. I said, okay, whenever you're ready, I got you. These are good, by the way. I hooked them up. But, you know, I said, okay, I got you. So, she finally was ready after a few months or whatever. And I was excited that she was ready. You know, I love when people get excited about going on vacation. So, she grabbed her friend and her friend. Now, her friend never had been on a flight before. And she was a little nervous, which is understandable because I'm always nervous still when I take a flight, which is understandable or whatever. Do y'all eat these eggs and things that be in here? Y'all see it? Let me see what it tastes like. Ew, I don't like it too much. Oh no, I'm not gonna eat that. Y'all eat that? Hold on. It's just like in there. Ugh. Ew. Ugh. To each his own, right? But, you know, they was excited about taking a vacation. Friend never been on an airplane before, so she's nervous or whatever. So I go ahead and book her. And then in the booking, she tells me, yeah, we want to, I sent her a bunch of activities for Vegas. That's where they was going, to Vegas. So I sent her a bunch of activities for Vegas. She says, you know, I'm going to go on a helicopter. We never did it. I never did it before. Now, the backstory is, when she first hit me up, actually, she says, yeah, my husband passed away a month ago. I need a vacation to get away. I need to clear my mind and all this other stuff. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to hook you up. I'm going to hook this girl up. You know, she's dealing with something. So I hooked her up. You know, I did her little, her airplane, her helicopter ride like she wanted. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, her friend is scared to ride a plane. Is she going to do the helicopter? So I guess she talked her friend into doing it. So all month, her and her friends posting about, oh yeah, we're going to Vegas. We're going to have so much fun. It's like every day she was posting it. I was happy for her, excited for her. Like, yeah, she about to, you know, enjoy herself. Her husband passed away. I made some little garlic butter. This is just garlic and butter. I didn't make this spicy because I'm trying not to do the spices anymore. These are huge. So, you know, they're excited for going and I'm excited for them. So, okay, you know, I'm watching her page or whatever. Not really watching, but she's my friend on Facebook. So I'm seeing things that go on. And she tells me, she says, you know, she hits me up with her other payment and says, I'm so excited about going, you know. My husband died and I've been going through some things. Could you add, no, sorry. She said, I'm going through some things. That's why I'm going to Florida. I mean, to Las Vegas or whatever. And she said, he died as soon as we got the money for from income tax. I got mine and I got his, you know, and he passed away. So I'm trying to enjoy myself in Vegas. She said, I done bought me a new car and this and that. So I'm like, okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Took her payment. Okay. So she hits me up like a couple weeks later and says, you think you can add my boyfriend and his friend to the itinerary? So I'm like, well, I can't change the itinerary unless I cancel your trip and rebook it. At today's price. So she's like, never mind or whatever. So now I'm like, wait, you have a boyfriend and your husband just died last month and you're trying to take him to Vegas? And are you taking him to Vegas with your dead husband's income tax money? Not my business. Not my business. Matter of fact, let me sip my cocktail to that one. So she goes on to say, oh, never mind. I don't want to rebook. They can wait this one out. So, okay. So, you know, the day comes where she's going to Vegas. You know, everything is going good, you know? I be hooking food up, y'all. I'm gonna start cooking and stuff on this channel. I'm gonna show y'all how I cook the things I cook. Pescatarian stuff only. I don't know if y'all see my background, but don't mind my background because I'm just moving into my house. I'm gonna dig into some of these. I might clear this plate and get me some more. I love garlic butter. There's regular garlic and butter. I love heads of the crawfish. You gotta suck that and get that juice. Okay, so, you know, the day comes, you know, send them off. Oh, safe travels. Let me know if anything occurs. Let me know if, you know, if anything. So she said, okay, thank you. Now, before the day comes, she has been posting her new boyfriend or whatever. You know, it's none of my business, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, this is kind of wrong now. She got a boyfriend and your husband just passed away within a month. And you got your income tax and his income tax. You bought yourself a car and you're going to Vegas and you want to take everybody to Vegas, even your new boyfriend. It's not my business. Not my business. I mind's the business that pays me. So anyway, it's the day of. And, you know, safe travels, all that. So I'm going about my day. So she hits me up. She hits me up and she says, such and such, I'm gonna call her Bubbles. It's the first thing that came to my mind. She hits me up and says, Bubbles has COVID and they sent us home. They wanted me to hit you up about the refund. So I'm like, oh, I'm sorry that happened. Like, they sent you home? You want to, so she like, yeah, they sent us home and asked me to ask you about the refund. No problem. What's going on? What happened? She says, Bubbles was nervous. No, she said Bubbles, when we was about to board the second plane to go to Vegas, Bubbles threw up in front of all of the people. And she has COVID. So I'm like, oh wow. Now pause. In the back of my head, I'm like, if Bubbles have COVID, they aren't gonna let her get on the plane to go back home. They're not gonna let her on a plane, period. So I'm like, okay, no problem. Oh, she has COVID? Dang, she said, yeah, the paramedics came and did all of this and they sent us back home. So I'm like, oh, dang, she had COVID? Oh, wow. So I'm like, oh, yeah. So I cancel her reservation. And, I'm seeing about the refund and all that because of the COVID issue. So when I called the airline, because I checked up with all aspects. I called the airline and they said, we did not send her back home. She did not have COVID. We didn't say anything about her having COVID. She told us that, and this is in the report from the paramedics to the airline. She told us she was nervous. It's her first time flying, so she got nervous and threw up. No one ever did a COVID test on her. And they were still at the first destination. They didn't even get home yet. So I'm like, talking to the airline, I said, so why would she lie to me? Why would she say that Bubbles had COVID? Why did she lie to me? We're supposed to be a team. These crawfish is good, y'all. So I asked her those questions. I said, they said Bubbles didn't have COVID. They said you could have continued with your trip. Why are you choosing to go back home? Oh, she's nervous and she's scared. We'll continue. I'm just gonna go back home because of whatever. She was gonna go back on the plane back home. I said, well, why did you say they sent you back home if you're not home yet? Mind you, she did not have travel protection. That's why I always say get travel protection too. So, lo and behold, she was still at the first airport destination. She had one layover, so she's still at the layover. And she's wanting a flight back now. Flights are booked up, they said at the airline. I'm calling, trying to get her a flight. They said, oh, we only have one flight that's leaving out tonight, and then we have another one leaving out tomorrow. But she did not want to leave Bubbles. Bubbles was sick. Bubbles didn't want to continue to Vegas. But that was her decision to not want to leave Bubbles. So, this is big. So, even the next day, they only had one ticket for someone to get back to where they came from. So now she's calling me, asking me to call this and that. So I am, as a travel advisor, I'm calling this and that and trying to get them on the same flight. But it's not leaving for 2 days. It's nothing I can do, baby girl. Because for one, you told me that they sent y'all back to where you came from. And you told me to cancel it and get the refund. Nothing I can do. You lied to me. You put me in a position. It's nothing I can do. For one, if Bubbles was sick because of getting on the airplane, why didn't she go to Vegas instead of back home? You would have to fly either way. And then I already knew that if she had COVID, she was not getting on either plane. So I already knew that that was kind of a fib. But it's like, why lie to me if I'm the one that's here to help you? I don't know these airline people. I mean, I don't know you, but you're my client. So then, okay, they had to, they saw somebody in the airlines, and the person in the airlines was saying, "Oh, I can drive you to Atlanta airport because maybe they got flights leaving out of there." So now she wants me to check Atlanta airport, see if any flights, which it wasn't no flights available. So it's like, now you keep putting me in this situation where all you had to do was tell me the truth from the get-go. All you had to do was tell me the truth. I wouldn't have canceled it yet. I would have, talked you into, oh yeah, how about continuing to Vegas? Or, I would have talked you into something more likable and more that fits you, instead of me canceling it thinking that they just already sent you back to where you came from because she had COVID. It's not nothing to lie about, like. So they ended up, I think they ended up getting a ride to Atlanta airport, and then getting on the airplane and going to a state over from where they live, and then somebody's going to come pick them up from there. Which I'm like, okay, I'm sorry I couldn't do more because you lied to me. So she hits me up when it gets back home, and she says, how long do you think that it'll take to, for my refund? So I'm like, I told her straight off, I said, if you get a refund, it'll take up to 30 days. And I said, that's if. Because for one, you did not get travel protection. You did not get travel protection. That is the number one thing into getting your money back. If anything happens, you can get your credits back. You denied it. For two, you used some of your package. You actually flew somewhere, like you flew to the place. You didn't make flights to your whole place, but you used the package basically. And then, like, for three, it was just all like, it was like too much. I said, so if you get your anything back is not going to be the full thing, and I'm not guaranteeing you get anything back, period, because you used your package. So she says, okay, I'll wait the 30 days. So, okay, 30 days come. But mind you, it's 30 days and it's 5 o'clock in the morning. She hits me up. She says, I haven't heard anything about the refund. I need my money. We need our money because, mortgage needs to be paid. And I know if I don't get the whole thing, I better be getting something because that's just not right. I didn't even use the room and I didn't use this and that. So I had to let her know, like, first of all, don't get smart with me because I'm not the one who did it, and I'm not the one who threw up and said COVID, and I'm not the one who, who does the refunds and things as well. So then I went on to say, you used your package already and then you didn't have travel protection. She says, oh, you didn't offer me travel. Yes, I did. I offer everyone travel protection because of COVID and every other situation. She said, oh yeah, I forgot. But she said, we should be getting something. I said, you hit me up 5 in the morning on the 30th day. If you have any credits coming, I will hit you up when I see it. And then I said, and honestly, if a vacation was going to put you behind in mortgage and rent or whatever you had, you shouldn't have been taking a vacation. Like, why would you take a vacation with your mortgage or rent money? So, this one is huge. They are huge. So, I waited, but she didn't get any credits because you didn't get travel protection and you used your package. It's nothing I can do. It's nothing I can do. And then you did, like, if you wanted the money back from the hotel, you would have had to cancel 24 hours in advance, as well as the helicopter ride. But being that you used your package, and you began your package, you're not getting no money back. And she began to be upset and irate with me as if it's my problem. As if it's my fault. If you would just tell the truth, you wouldn't have been in that situation. I would have convinced you to keep on trucking to Vegas on your little getaway trip, courtesy of your husband. But one thing I gotta say about that is karma knows. Karma, what goes around comes around. The universe knows what to give who and at what time. Because why would you be trying to take people to Vegas on your husband's dime? That could have got him, I'm no judge or anything, but that could have got him his headstone or something. Why try to plan a vacation with other people and your new boyfriend with your husband's money that passed away a month ago? And then the girl that got sick, one of her friends actually tags her on my post about Vegas twice. Tagged her on, I made other Vegas posts, and one of her friends had tagged Bubbles twice. Talking about, yeah, we need to go, da-da-da. Bubbles ain't tell you what happened. Bubbles ain't tell you she's scared to fly. Bubbles ain't tell you she threw up in front of the staff and they called the paramedics. Like, I thought they were trying to be smart, so I blocked her and Bubbles. I also blocked the girl that booked. That's a lot of meat in this. I also blocked the girl that booked because it's not my fault. If you just know how to tell the truth, then you will prosper in life. All you had to do was say, Bubbles got sick. All you had to do was say, Bubbles got sick, and we have to wait on another flight, or reschedule a flight, or wait on a different flight. I would have put you on a different flight to Vegas, and you could have continued to Vegas. You needed that vacation. You could have continued your butt to Vegas, or you could have sent Bubbles home and you continued to Vegas. It's your trip. You need that trip for you. Bubbles know how to get back on that plane and fly back to her airport. And you should have got on that plane and flew your butt to Vegas and enjoyed that helicopter and whatever else Vegas had to offer. That's all I'm saying. Don't blame me. I always advise travel protection. Always. But I hadn't heard from them again because I blocked them. I blocked negativity. So that's that story. And I'm going to hit y'all up with more stories about horror clients, because I have a lot. But what else happened with her? Oh, that's about it. I just don't believe she was upset with me. I don't believe the fact that she hit me up at 5 in the morning on a 30th day asking about her money because their rent is past due. That was not a good excuse, baby girl. That made you look crazy for booking a flight with your rent money, even though it was your husband's money. Do y'all believe in karma? Do y'all believe in karma and stuff like that? I think that was her husband. That may have been her husband. Like, I know you ain't go to Vegas on my dime, and I don't even got a headstone. Then she got her boyfriend. I don't know if her boyfriend, if they was together before he passed. I don't know. But I knew from the get-go it was wrong. And then the universe showed you that it was wrong. It's so good. I love broccoli. I have more horror stories to come. More horror stories to come that are not my fault. Only thing I can say is everyone get travel protection. And get travel protection. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and head out. I'm gonna clear up my plate. Got some more broccoli, but I'll holler at y'all